the bread kitchen. Today I'm going to make a very simple white loaf which is far better than this rubbish that you'll get from your supermarket. It uses many of the techniques which are common to bread making at home: mixing, kneading, rising, knocking back, and it's called a British bloomer. For this loaf I need 675 grams of strong white flour. This means a white flour with a protein content of around 11.5 to 12%. 430 ml of lukewarm water, 2 teaspoons of salt and a tablespoon of dried yeast. I've taken 100 ml of my water and warmed it up slightly. I'll add in the dried yeast just to activate it. Even if you're using fresh yeast, it's a good idea to mix the yeast initially with a little bit of water anyway. Now I'll just leave that for 10 minutes. Now I'll sieve the flour and salt into a large bowl. Make a well in the centre of the flour. Add in the yeast when it's ready and pour in the remainder of the water. Then mix it together. Fold the flour in from the sides. At first it feels quite sticky, and then as you incorporate more and more flour it becomes less and less sticky. It'll probably take you a good 3 or 4 minutes to get all the flour incorporated into the dough, and you can wipe any flour off the side of the bowl with the dough while you're doing this. But once it's all incorporated, we can go on to the next step. Sprinkle a nice flat surface with some flour and plop on the dough. And we're going to knead this now for about 10 minutes. Now there's a number of ways you can knead bread. One is the way that I'm doing, which is giving it a quarter turn and stretching the dough away from me. Or another technique is to kind of push it out with the heel of your palm, fold it over, push it out with the heel of your palm, fold it over. But whichever way you use, from time to time you may find that the dough becomes a little bit sticky and you need to put a bit more flour on the surface. Now you'll know when you've finished kneading because it actually feels very soft and it's very elastic. Boing! I've got a lightly oiled bowl here. Just going to pop the dough in the centre. Cover the bowl with a bit of plastic film, or you could use a tea cloth. Now I'll pop this in a warm place for a couple of hours to allow it to double in size. After a little while it'll be all puffed up and puffy. So, sprinkle some flour on the surface, turn the dough out and knead well for 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, again your dough should be nice and silky smooth and springy. Pop the dough once more into a nicely lightly greased bowl, cover and put it in a warm place for another hour. After the second rising, pull it out onto a floured surface again, knock it back, then knead for another 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of kneading, just leave it to rest for 5 minutes. Now after 5 minutes I'm going to roll this out into a rectangle which is about 1 inch thick. Fold up the sides. Now I'll just cover this with a clean tea towel and leave it to rest for about 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes I'm going to take this dough and transfer it seam side down onto a lightly greased baking tray. Now I'll just plump it up a bit. I'll cut half a dozen diagonal slits in the top. Well, I've only cut 5, so sue me. And then I'll cover it and just leave it for another 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll heat the oven up. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Now I'm just going to brush it with a glaze, a little bit of salt in water. This will help crisp it up a bit. I'm just going to sprinkle on a few poppy seeds too. Now I'll pop this in the oven, fan oven 190, normal oven 220, for about 25 to 30 minutes. I'm going to pop a little tray of water on the bottom shelf to create a steamy atmosphere, and then I'll pop in the bread. 20 25 minutes later, there's one deliciously golden brown bloomer. It's quite a bit of effort, but so worth it. The bloomer's the kind of loaf that you can use for toast or sandwiches, or even mopping up the gravy from your favourite dish. Good luck with making your bloomer, and join me again in the bread kitchen.